Welcome to the Sunday Live Show. What's up? What's up? Before we get started, let's make sure we like it, right? Subscribe, right? And then we'll look at some stocks. And then we will look at some stocks, man. The Qs have reached the measure move we've been talking about. 445. It has reached 445. The measure move we've been talking about for quite some time now. It literally came right there and rejected about $8. Incredible. 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 But I'm here to tell you we got more of a measure move to make. I don't think we're by any means done. I mean, we can zoom out and really look where the Qs could potentially go, which, I see it getting to at least the top of the trend, which is around, 500-ish, 515-ish. Right? And when we look at the measure move regardless, I mean, the measure move, we've been talking about 445, ever since the Qs was at its October low around 340. And, we even talked about it down here February 2023. We said it was going to get to 350. It went to 350. But the interesting thing about when it went to 350 right here, you see how it overshot? So it went to the measure move that we had, and then it overshot about 50 or 30, $40. Okay? And during that time, let me show you something. I'm gonna put you guys on a real game real quick. During that time, first of all, you got the dollar rejecting, which we've been talking about, right? We told you this was the rejection. You got the February super run that hasn't really even got started. You'll really see the run get started when it breaks below $100. But if you look at where the Qs actually overshot from, it reached its measure move. And then what started happening around May 15, right? You see May 15. What started happening was you saw a lot of small caps and mid caps and everything run up. And that's where you got the other, 30. Let's see how much percent this was. Let's be correct. Let's see how much percent this was. That's where you got that other 15% on the Qs, okay? And I could drag you back over and show you what was happening with the dollar during May. You zoom up till May, the dollar was rejecting over here. And all it did was kept falling, right? And then you got that low in July, which was the high on SPY right here. July 17th. July 17th, you got that high. And then down here, you got that final low, right? Literally perfect, which is crazy. But what we're getting right now, and what hasn't happened yet, is that next dollar dump, okay? So that's the main thing we should be paying attention to right now. And that's going to be led by small caps and mid caps. I mean, you already see crypto going crazy, but it's going to get even more crazy is what I'm saying, especially once you start breaking below the lows that you had back down here, okay? We haven't broke. Every single time we get that huge run, the dollar breaks below the previous low, okay? You saw it happen right here. We had that huge dump. Then, it got bought up, etc., okay? So that's the main thing we should be paying attention to. I think the Qs is definitely going to end up overshooting. We said it was going to get to 450. Now we have the measure move changing to around, man. We haven't had peak euphorium, okay? And the reason I say that is because we knew Bitcoin was going to get to, all-time highs. We've been saying that for literally since it was at 20K, 25K. Bitcoin hasn't even got to 100K. The crypto market cap is projected to be around 4 trillion. It's still sitting at 2.6. Look, we got a lot of room, okay? We got a lot of room to go on some of these altcoins, a lot of room to go on some of these mid cap, small caps, and I don't want to waste any of you guys' time much further. I just want to hop straight into looking at some individual stocks because I think that's where other potential is. I think there's so much. I know there's so much money to be made in a lot of these stocks. Okay, so put in the comments what individual stocks you guys want to look at. We'll take a peek at them. Stuff that I'm particularly interested in first. I'll tell you guys what I'm interested in first, which is the Hang Seng and China stocks. The reason that is because you have the Hang Seng holding in this inverse head and shoulders, okay? You have the Hang Seng holding in this inverse head and shoulders. If you guys don't know what the Hang Seng is, you got Alibaba, you got Baidu, you got all the Futu, China stocks, okay? You have it holding in this inverse head and shoulders, and what China usually does is it gives you a 4-month time span where it just rockets, okay? We've seen that happen literally November 2022. It went from 14,000, rocketed all the way to 22,000 in the span of what? November, December, January. That's a huge move, okay? Huge move. You got it again over here. You had it happen again over here. Over here. It usually takes about 4, it just happens quick and swiftly. It doesn't take too long for China to start getting going. You also have the double bottom right here as well. So when we're looking at Alibaba and the Hang Seng in general, these are probably some of my favorite stocks to look at right now. Holding in the inverse head and shoulders. It looks good. It looks good. All right. This week should be very interesting for it as well. We also have CPI coming out Tuesday. All right. But anyways, let's move on. Somebody said TSM, Mara, AMD. Let's look at TAN, because right now, TAN is one that has a whole lot of upside potential. I don't know if you guys have looked outside yet, but you see gas going up, right? Usually when gas goes up, you see TAN going up. You see TAN, making some sort of move to the upside. But that's not even what looks the best on something like TAN. I mean, first of all, it's sitting at the bottom of this huge flag. It's sitting at the bottom of this huge flag, okay? And it's double bottoming right here. So you have great risk to reward regardless. Huge bull divergence on a higher time frame, which is the weekly. You have a lot of bullish stuff happening, and even it, bro. Hold on, man. We're gonna take a little, because I didn't see this before. But I promise you, okay, every single time on this stream we've seen a candle like this, like we've seen this morning star type of candle on a monthly time frame. We saw it on Apple like a while back, and Apple shot up like $20-$30, and we told you to buy. It was at 171, it shot up to like 200. It has the same formation. We saw Apple do this, okay? So, by the end of this month, we'll be able to see if TAN does that exact same thing. But energy in general, it looks very good. I mean, you even have some monthly divergence happening. And what usually happens when money's rotating, it rotates to energy. It doesn't leave any sector out. Okay, you saw that in 2020, 2021, where energy had this huge run, okay? So I'm telling you right now, you really want to lock in? I'm locked in. I'm telling you to lock in because I'm telling myself to lock in. I'm locked in right now because I know there's so much money to be made right now. I mean, you look at EMPH, which we got into in the Discord, and that was the Friday Lotto. We ended up making some money from that. But EMPH, you could just look at the weekly, and you could see, come on. So EMPH is an energy stock. So, and TAN's highest weighted percentage stock is EMPH. I think it's like 17%. I don't know, something like that. So TAN and EMPH kind of go hand in hand, and you see EMPH ready to break out from this. Look at, first of all, it started pumping when you had that November to December when money actually started rotating into small caps and mid caps. That's what I'm telling you. Energy starts going with small caps and mid caps. Okay, like if you look at EMPH really didn't start going until you saw it bottom out in November and December. And you look at the dollar, what happened in November and December, you saw this exact same thing. So now you're getting that retest, and this is the real small cap run up. This is the real euphorium mid cap small cap stage. Okay, you got the little teaser back in November and December, and then all this previously back here was just big caps, and we talked all about that. Okay, but now you got the teaser November and December in the small caps. You got the teaser. This was the teaser. Okay. And the reason I'm looking at IWM right now is because energy, you really want to look at the Russell 2000 if we're looking at small caps, and you want to see what that ETF is doing regardless. And this ETF is literally retesting a multi-year breakout. It literally retested it and then bounced back up. You have it not breaking out since May 2022. So you had the teaser. Now you're getting ready for that real run up, okay? And me personally, I have IWM projected to go to over 300. Okay. So you should expect IWM to at least get back to the top of the trend. So when I tell you guys there's a lot of room for you to make a whole lot of money right now, I'm not lying to you. You just got to be patient. Okay? And this is something that we've been talking about. Man, if you don't believe me now, I don't know what to tell you. This is something that we've been talking about since December 2022. Sure, do we miss time stuff sometimes? Sure, like, I'm not 100%, but 80 to 85% of the time, the information I'm telling you is absolutely correct. But anyways, IWM looks good. TAN looks good. So whoever asks about TAN, it has some, like, we looked at 3 things that look absolutely amazing for it. You have the Morningstar on the monthly. You have it bull diverging. You have small caps and everything lining up with it, the dollar lining up with it, this thing literally retesting this huge demand level that dates back 2014 2015 over here when it finally took off. Right here was $45, and then you saw it just zoom up in 3-4 months, go all the way to 120. Okay, so we're sitting at that level right now. This is make or break. I think it's gonna make it. And yeah, this is perfect risk to reward regardless. Like, even if you're wrong, you're not going to be wrong that big. And that's what stocks, when you're looking at stocks, that's what you want to look at, risk to reward. How much are you about to lose? How much are you going to lose versus how much are you going to make? All right. TSM, a lot of people are asking about TSM. And to be honest, TSM is one that's absolutely gone. This is one that we've been talking about. When we told you to date it back here, when we told you to look at it when it broke from that left shoulder, that it was going to take off because you had all that consolidation at the right shoulder. We said it was going to retest the head. I haven't looked at this stock in so long, and I haven't deleted the TA. This is what I told you. I said once the right shoulder breaks out, which it is, it's going to come up and retest that head. You had it retest the head, and now it's absolutely gone. But what you got to know about TSM is it still has a lot of room. There's a lot of investment coming into semiconductors. There's no reason to be bearish, that's for sure. But if I'm looking at something like TSM, I want to pay attention to what's happening on the Fibonacci's. Okay, that's the main thing I want to pay attention to, because it's in you can use the same concepts for crypto with stocks. This is in price discovery mode, meaning it's making new all-time highs, making a new price people haven't seen before. That's kind of like what you saw with Nvidia. So the first targets that you want to draw up on something like this is, it reached the first one, which is one at 144. This thing has potential to get to 196, etc. Okay, and you guys know me. I don't like looking at smaller time frames. I know the trend is up. I know semiconductors are most likely going to continue to go up. So yeah, I like it. You even have a nice little pullback. Like, it went from 157 to all the way to 144. So if it was me though, and I was looking for a nice entry and I was looking to get in, I would look to try to get in on a decent pullback. Okay, this thing has been, come on now, this thing's been going crazy. So I would look for it to at least retrace. A great entry would be 136. Now, will you get that? Who knows? But yeah, I'd be looking for it to get to 136. But like I said, we have price targets all the way up to 190, 196, 195, and it's making price discovery. Okay, looks great. looks great, but I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of other stocks that look, well, TSM looks good, but MU is one that we've been talking about for quite some time, and we literally told you to get in the MU calls, and a lot of people didn't. First of all, in the long-term holds, we literally told you to get SE calls. These are up 240%. These are June 21st. We told you to get these back in December 2023, December 22nd. SE calls, a double bottom. But we also told you to get MU as well. And MU cooked up. Yeah, MU went crazy. We got MU calls February 20th. So when we're looking for good entries, like you guys are buying like February 20th, this doesn't even do it justice. Like we go to the daily and it was literally at the bottom. February 20th. So when we're looking at these semiconductors, you guys want to look at semiconductors, which is cool. That is the hottest topic right now because that's literally what's going to end up powering a lot of AI stuff that's going on. But you got to realize whose contracts you're buying. You're buying somebody's contract that's up. Come on, man. We was up 240%. So you're buying someone's contract that's up a lot. So you want to wait for a decent entry or finding a different value like a semiconductor not many people talk about like GFS. Yeah, it looks ugly, but it is a semiconductor. It got an investment, etc. But it chops a lot. Anyways, let's move on. You guys want to look at Riot? Alright, so I'm going to tell you right now, crypto miners, a lot of people are worried about crypto miners. They're shaking you out, bro. They're shaking y'all out. They're shaking you out. And I'm saying that because they're not shaking me out. I know crypto miners lag Bitcoin, and I know because we've been telling you this time after time after time after time. We told you to buy down here. It went crazy. We told you to buy again right here. It went crazy. Look, man. I'm telling you to buy again right here. Look, man. If you don't want to listen, that's up to you. But these are the pullbacks that you need to be paying attention to. A lot of you guys want to pay attention to when it's up here. That's not when you want to pay attention to it. So buying down here, and of course I'm talking about you buying some 4 or 5 month out contracts and just being patient enough to hold them, because what happens, look, man, what happens with Bitcoin miners is they lag, okay? And a lot of people get impatient. I see Riot at least getting to $50 and potentially, all the way up to 96. Potentially all the way up to 96. Bitcoin's not done at all. Okay? The only thing you got to make sure you're doing is that you're buying enough time on these contracts, you're being patient. And the reason you buy time, the reason you buy time on contracts, the reason you buy, like, let's say I want to get some August $20 Riot calls. The reason I'm getting August $20 Riot calls is because I don't know when it's going to stop going down or chopping or whatever, but I know it's going up. I know it's going up. You also buy them to average into them. Okay? So if I buy them on Monday and they go to $10 on Thursday, I would buy more. So you don't put the full bag in. Let's say you got 5,000. You put 2,000 in. If it goes down a little bit more, you put another 1,000. If it goes down a little bit more, you put another 1,000. You have time. You have time. You have time. So that's one thing, just to make sure you guys are paying attention to when, even in the Discord, like a lot of people don't know how I got such a low average, or, like how are you up so much and I'm only up 50%, how are you up 120%, etc. is because you average into them, okay? So some stuff I can't, in the midst of a lot of this stuff when it's just going on, you want to make sure you're checking out the WAM Public School, okay? We talk about all of this stuff, okay? So just check that out. Like, get educated. This is your portfolio. Nobody gonna care about your portfolio more than you. All right, but I do have Riot getting to $95, definitely to 50. 50's light, but like I said, just make sure you're buying time. All right, let's look at Pan W. So You guys saw Kathy buying Pan W. We actually made a bag off of Pan W, shorting it. I actually, man, I'm proud of that one because a lot of people, man, God did on that one because I got into there, and man, it wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking good, and then God did, and then made a bag, and a lot of people was doubting that one, but yeah, we got into Pan W puts, but when Kathy bought, and the reason I'm telling you this is because when an earnings gaps down like it does, this is something we talk about all the time on this channel. When it gaps down like it does, like you saw for earnings, it gapped down. What usually happens is you get like a nice little pump. Okay, you're gonna get that nice little dead cat bounce from the people that are getting in. And then Kathy not Kathy, but what's her name? Nancy Pelosi literally just skyrocketed it more than it should have bounced. So we ended up catching this and catching some puts and made a lot of money. But what usually happens is it continues to go down. Okay. And then it gets some consolidation, and then you see it, start heading up a little bit. So my prediction for Pan W is, I would personally stay away from it a little bit, at least until it makes a new low, like until it goes below 260. I know, terrible, but at least until it goes below 260, then I'll start paying a little bit more attention to it. Okay, because you had something like Snow, if some of you guys remember. I always tell you guys, when a stock has earnings and it gaps down, you get that dead cat bounce, but ultimately it ends up going back down a little bit more, okay? But Snow actually looks very good. Nobody asked about Snow, so I'm not going to go over it. But Snow looks incredible right here. And this would be the buying opportunity, like if it looks something like this for Pan W, okay? But right here for Pan W, I think it goes a bit lower. I think it washes out the people that were trying to copy Nancy Pelosi, not knowing that Nancy buys 2025 contract. She probably got some 2026s, man. She paid she paying $5,000 per contract. She don't care what's happening right now. She does not care. She got 2 years out and in the money. She does not care. All right, so I think it's gonna watch out some people that try to get 2-3 months out and do what it does. So I'm not gonna pay attention to it until it makes a new low. But like I said, that's what I think it does. I think it makes a new low. Anyways, let's move on. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. Let me look at the Twitch, man. What you guys talking about over here? I think market have a small pullback this week. Bro, what about Tesla? Can't seem to go up. It's BA cut. What's good, bro? Yeah. Tesla, BA. All stocks that are going to have their moments, but you just got to be patient. We're not going to... Let's look at Google. Let's look at Google. We looked at TSM. Let's look at Google. Yeah, Google's doing exactly what it's been doing ever since it bottomed out in March 2023, which is bounces from the 21 EMA, fakes people out, acts like it breaks down, goes back up, and does what it does. It's doing that exact same thing that you see right here. Okay, so if you look at something like Google, this is in the buying area. So there's absolutely no way you should be looking to sell it. There's absolutely no way you should be looking to get puts, at least until it starts closing below 133.50. Okay, below 133.50 is when you'll have a break of structure. You won't have it in the buying area. It'll be closing below the buying area, and it'll potentially have some more room to the downside. But what we're looking at right now is that it is in an uptrend. Okay, it's literally making higher low after higher low. Even this dump that you have right here is still made a higher low. Like, this thing is in an uptrend. Okay, in the buying area. This is actually a bullish reversal candle on a weekly. So if you're asking me about Google, I think it looks very good. I would look to potentially not buy up here because you missed a lot of the rally, and a lot of people are looking to sell now because it is the first good pump that has had in quite some time. I'd be looking to buy at around 133. Okay, 133.50, like inside of here. And the reason I say that is because this is the first, like, what happens when a stock has its first pump, it usually gets a slight little retracement. Okay, it gets a slight little retracement, makes the people think that the stock is done going up. That was just a little bounce, etc. And then you want to get that second. You want to get that second support level, which is 133.50, and that's even a good, like, you can look at this and see how many wicks are inside of there. So that just tells you it's a good buying area first of all, but it's also a good risk to reward area. Okay, because even if you're wrong, like, let's say you bought it at 133.50, all you'd have to do is stop out if it starts closing below, $1, $2. Play with it, however you want to do it. But that's good, great risk to reward. So that's what I'll be looking at for something like Google. I love it. This is a stock that is in the FANG. Okay, this is a stock, like, first of all, you look at the monthly, and the monthly looks great. A stock that that reached its all-time highs briefly, but what's been happening with these stocks that are huge stocks, like Google, like Netflix, or like Meta, like Apple, like Nvidia, is that when they go to all-time highs, they continue. And I mean, you're getting the best pullback that you've seen in quite some time in 2022. What do you think's gonna happen? This thing's gonna ultimately continue to go up. The Qs and SPY are gonna continue to get to 560 on SPY, 560 plus on SPY, and the Qs to over 500 as well. The stocks that are gonna fuel that are small caps, mid caps, and these huge market caps that haven't went to all-time highs yet. Apple, Google, Tesla. Anyway. That monthly says sell, M pattern. Then sell it. Then get in the puts. Look, man, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I don't care what you do. But if I'm getting into Google, and in my opinion, why would you think of any M pattern in a bull? Like, that's just irresponsible. That's just irresponsible. I mean, you probably are saying the same thing right here, too. It's an M pattern. Nah, bro. Not in the bull market. It's not how this works. Anyway, let's move on. Tesla. Tesla. Yeah, in a bull market, you don't want to look to short too much, okay? In 2022, yeah, you look to short a little bit more. You want to have a bearish sentiment. But in an overly bullish market where there will be a euphoric stage, that's where you end up getting cooked. And that's where a lot of people have been getting cooked. You're supposed to, right now, I'm not even going to say it, but you're supposed to be making a whole lot of money right now. But if you aren't, it's probably because you're pessimist, you're listening to the wrong people. A lot of these stocks are just going up. You just got to buy time on them, and that's it. If you aren't actually up making some money this year, you'll make it in the next bull run, bear market. But this is actually a very easy time to be in the market, and that's just a fact. There's a saying: everybody's smart in a bull run. Why? Because stocks usually just going up. But if we look at Tesla, Tesla is going to scare a whole lot of people out. It's been doing that. Like, we ended up getting some calls right here when it went to 177, and those ended up going crazy. That made some people some money, made me some money. But it's back at that level. Now, what I think is going to end up happening at this level is that it does come down and retest maybe 168, okay? But the reason this is like what we talked about earlier, and why you should be looking to buy far out contracts right now and just average into it, is because this is a good buying level regardless. Like, it's back at that area where it bounced $30, okay? This is where Tesla bounced $30 during this run right here. And now it's back at that level to where if you missed it, this would be a good time to average into some June, July calls. Some July 220s. And then if it goes to this area, which I particularly like, where I would look to buy it again at around 168, 170, which would be the bottom of the trend line again, that's where you would average in, okay? I'm by no means bearish on Tesla, mainly because I know all they need is one good news source, and this is one of the stocks that likes to shake people out first and then just make $100 move in a couple weeks. Okay, so, and it's still sitting in an uptrend. I mean, to me, I would only be cautious on this if it does start holding below 150. 150, like, yeah, it's gonna go to 100. It's gonna keep dropping for a little bit. But right here, I do like it. I do like it. This is where I would average in. I mean, no TA can beat this TA. Sitting in a nice little bull flag. To me, the measure move is still the 314. Now, I don't know if this is gonna end up getting all-time highs this cycle though. Like, that's tough to say. 370, you know, I was saying 370, but you know, sometimes you gotta be happy with, you know, maybe 295, and you know, they gotta get to 347. You know, it has to get to some levels first before, you know, we start saying 500. But this, look, I'm looking at average into some calls. If you're in the Discord, I'm looking at Tesla to hop into some calls, man. You guys know how we cooked up on this last time. The beginning of February, we got in. It went up over 200, 150%. We sold, etc. Okay, so it looks very good. Looks very good. Somebody said Nike. I'm glad you said Nike because this is one that I absolutely love right now. I was looking at this one before I went live. And I've been looking at this one for a while. I just been waiting for a very good entry on it, and I think we're finally getting it. I think we're getting it because you have that daily divergence. Okay, this broke down. It broke down, but now it's diverging. It has that huge daily divergence. So we should anticipate some sort of short-term reversal, maybe even long-term reversal to where we do get above there. And also, you guys have to remember, this is a stock that, like I always tell you, it dumped on earnings. Like, it was at $123. Dumped on earnings, okay? And then you had that first real rally that you see right here. The more I talk about it, the more I really like Nike right here because we've seen this happen so many times. That first rally is, yeah, you can make a little bit of money going up, but you don't really want to mess with it until you get that real level down to where it fakes out all the people that were trying to get, you know, the real rally. Like, oh, that's it. That's where, you guys know what I'm saying? Dumps, it gets that first real rally to get people excited, and then you get that real dump, and you got that daily divergence of it. I actually really, really like Nike right here. I would look if it was me, and it might look. The thing, I don't have enough money invested into the market. I got hundreds of thousands. I don't got enough money inside of here. I wish I could put in more. Because there's so many good setups to where it's like, man, I gotta put 5,000 in here. I gotta put 5,000 in this one too, and this one, and this one, and this one, and that one. But I just don't got enough money to do all that. But it does look very good, even in this nice little demand level. I mean, there's some good stuff happening with it. I like it. I really like it. But yeah, like I said, the psychology of it. Dump for earnings. You got that first real rally to get people excited, and then you dumped all of them, and now you have the daily divergence where we absolutely love to get it right here. Okay, you wait for the real rally, you let it dump that real rally, the whole real rally, and then you get the second one that you see right here. Okay, so if it was me, I'd be looking at June calls, maybe June 105s, 110s. I don't know, and that's just free in my opinion. So yeah, right here is the perfect buying area. Let's move on though. I'm sorry if I'm not seeing a lot of you guys' comments. I mean, there's 270 people in here. It's kind of hard to see, you know, all the comments. He said laundry. Yeah, Tesla look good right here. I'm not gonna look at MU just because I'm up so much on MU, but the price target that I have is over 110. I'm long arm. All right, let's look at. Somebody said how high will. I gotta go into 113. 139. Use the fibs. Maybe 165 when it gets above 140. Let's look at shop. Okay. Yeah, it's ugly. Yeah, it's ugly. I don't want to look at it. I'm sorry, bro. MSTR is doing great. Of course, MSTR is doing great. If you guys remember, we made videos about MSTR. This anytime somebody came in the live and asked about a stock that I would purchase, that I have been purchasing, that I think is the best opportunity that you can get into. Some people have been asking me that every single stream for over 2 years, and every single time I said MSTR, bro. MSTR, 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 MSTR. It was at 300. It was at 400. It was at 600. It was at 210, which we told the entire Discord to buy at 210. Told them again to buy at this low. We told them again to buy right here. And now it's at 1400. We told you guys this is going to get to 3K. Okay? It's on its way to 3K. It's on its way to 3K. This one's doing very good for us. You think the top's in for indices? No. Let's look at DE. Oh man, this thing's chopping. Yeah, this is a very choppy stock. But you know, this is a perfect opportunity to test what I've been talking about for whoever want to test it. Me personally, I don't like I don't like DE spreads. I don't like how they look. They're ugly. But you know, you got that earnings dump, and now you're getting that first real run up. So you know what should be expected is, you know, maybe a dump back to the low, and it possibly getting to 350. So I'd be bearish on DE right here. Yeah. But again, I'm not looking to short nothing. That's just not how I'm built, because I don't look to short anything. Like if I don't like it for calls, I don't even look at it, because we're in a very bullish market right now. Let's look at you. Okay, what happened with you? What the? Did it dump our earnings or did it pump? I'm not even sure what it did for earnings. It looked like it dumped, had that run up, and now you're getting. Look, for a lot of this stuff, I'm gonna say the exact same thing. This thing dumped for earnings. It dumped for earnings, like you see with this big red candle. It got the fake run up, and then it just made new lows. So I anticipate this to continue to go lower, maybe like $25. Anticipate to make a new low from the earnings low. Okay. That's how I play. That's why I love when a stock has good earnings, because usually it just continues to go up after some consolidation. But when a stock has bad earnings, it's going to drop, and it's going to continue to drop until it gets that consolidation. It's just the same thing, but vice versa. Snow. Let's look at Snow. Somebody asked about Snow, and I'm actually excited about Snow, so I'm gonna look at Snow. Look, I tell you guys over and over, this is like a setup that it just happens. Okay, maybe not 100% of the time, but 80 to 85% of the time, this exact thing is gonna happen over and over again, like you're seeing with Snow, like we've seen with so many stocks that have had earnings that dump. So you had that dump, you had the little fake out run, you had the little fake up, and then it reached a new low. But right here is actually where it looks kind of good for calls, because it made the new low, right? It dumped below the earnings low. It actually made a new low. And now what you're seeing is some huge divergence ever since it dumped. Ever since it dumped. You got a bunch of bull divergence, okay? And right here in particular is where I'm very interested in, is because when it dumped, it didn't dump that low. Like you're actually getting it, like it went down to, you know, these wicks like 164 and then just kind of stop right there. So this actually looks decent right here for, you know, maybe some sort of upside. That's what I'd be looking to play on something like Snow. And this is good. This is a good bounce area regardless. I mean, you have it bouncing over here, you know, some sort of over here. You know, it looks decent. It looks decent. I'm not gonna say it looks great, but I wouldn't be looking to play puts on it. I'd be looking more so to, you know, play the upside a bit, because it has all that divergence on an hourly time frame. This should be some sort of short-term reversal in store. I mean, look how much it bull diverged. Like even when it made its low right here in pre-market, it bull diverged even in the pre-market. Like this thing could possibly be good for potential day trade, you know, to the upside for tomorrow. I actually like it. You guys don't look at coin. Let's take a peek at coin. Yeah, coin's gone. I mean, this is stock like this is a stock that we talk about so much when it was actually at a good buying point. Like this is why I have 117 circled, because that was the golden ratio for it, the support for it. Bounce went crazy. So now what you should expect for something like this thing is about to. This is something you just got to pull up the fibs on. We're just gonna do it from right here. Yeah, I mean, this is actually perfect. This is actually a perfect example. I'm not looking to get in up here. Only for like a day trade or something. Okay, this is like the rejection level if you have the fibs. But the next level takes you to 342, and crypto's not done at all. Like Bitcoin's not done at all. What you want to pay attention for something like Coinbase is just finding a good entry. And inside of here isn't the best entry. I'm gonna just be honest with you, it's not a good entry. So for a good entry, I'd be waiting for it to come down, maybe 235 or something. And that'd be a decent entry. But up here, I'm alright. But you have it touching that 275, which we pulled up the fibs. That was the rejection level, which is funny. It literally matched up perfectly. But the next level you have is 342. Okay. So when you get that pullback, buy some long dated contract. That's why, like, let's look at the fear and greed index. That's why I sort of hope we get some sort of good pullback, because we know the market's going up, man. We know the market's going to continue to go up. The dollar hasn't even really dumped yet. I do hope we get some sort of good pullback, just so we can get some very, very good entries again. But yeah, it's in at 0.72 greed, nothing too crazy. All right, what stocks you guys looking at? PLTR, Apple. Do you have any short-term invest on Monday? Look, one thing you guys gotta know about me is, man, I don't really. That's one thing we gotta look at intraday. Like, I can't come in here and say particularly like what stock I'm looking at on a Monday morning. I don't really know. Now, of course, we can find some good setups and everything, but ultimately, I like looking at some good swing trades. But if I was looking at PLTR, I'd look to get in at $25. This thing is by no means done. I'm actually very interested in PLTR. This has been something that we've been talking about, since it was down here at $16. We told you it's gonna get that nice pop to $24. It's retesting the trend line breakout, the rising wedge. Okay, this thing's ready to start making new highs. We can come in here and do the same thing. This thing's definitely getting to $30. First of all, if this thing don't get to $30, come in here and say I'm wrong. But this thing's getting to $30. Maybe 36, maybe 45. Once it gets above 45, this thing has, nothing but free air to, 60 plus. But those are the main things I'll be looking at. It has to get above $30 though, so that's the first price target I'll be looking at, is retesting the rising wedge. Looks very good. I'd be looking for an entry around $25, maybe getting some 3 month out, 2 month out contracts, calls, and calling it a day. All right. You're closing my app. A lot of you guys, man, I'm telling you, when you get 3, 4, 5 month out contracts, just close your app, bro. You don't need to be looking. You don't need to be looking every 10 minutes to see what your position doing. Let it cook. Let it marinate. Let it marinate. All right, let's look at Apple. What's your Discord? The link is in the bio. Alright, let's look at Apple. Alright, so first of all, there's no way I'd short it right here. If you missed all this downside, from 195 all the way to 170, there's really no point of even looking at it too much to the downside. It is in demand area. You gotta actually love it right here, because one thing about Apple is it's back at You know Apple's going to go much higher from here, first of all. It even has some hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence where it's making a higher low like you see right here, but on the RSI this thing's making a lower low. That's hidden bullish divergence, okay? In a demand area. The one thing that I would tell you to watch out for is that this thing has finally got its first pump in so long to where now a lot of people are looking at it. So what you want to do is look for a nice re-entry on it, okay? You don't, and right here, you know, it kind of actually gave you it. You know, it's sitting in a buying area. I would see what it does at 170. If not, it's gonna come down for that W. I mean, yeah, for the W, and then, you know, maybe make one more new low to maybe 166 or something. But right here is I'm actually gonna be paying heavy attention to this tomorrow because it's in the buying area to where the risk to reward is very easy. You get calls right here. If it goes below 170, you get out because it's most likely gonna end up retesting, you know, 168, 166. Okay, because it has now had its first real pump. And what I tell you guys about those first pumps, they usually don't work out for people who want to be bullish on it, okay? So I'll be looking at 166, has some hidden bullish divergence, has some bullish things about it. But other than that, you know, it's not the best one we looked at today. It's not the best one we looked at today. We looked at Tesla. I'm in Apple swings for calls. What do you think? That's what I think. But one thing you have to know about Apple is that first of all, we looked at 10 and it had, remember that candle I talked about right here? Remember that candle I talked about at the beginning of the live stream? That's why 10 looks so good. That's why energy looks so good. You got that huge monthly pump. I'll just go back to the people that missed it. I gotta show you. I mean, it has that same monthly Morningstar candle on a monthly time frame, so you should see a huge, big old monthly candle, kind of like what you saw for Apple, right? So, but you know, one thing you have to know about Apple is that it's gonna make a comeback. Okay, it's just a matter of, you know, when is it gonna make a comeback, and this is gonna be a stock that is gonna end up carrying the S&P 500 and the Qs to. Look, we have a new price target. We told you it's getting to 500. It's at 500. Matter of fact, it went way above 500. It's at 5. It went all the way to 518. So the price target now, we got it going to 560, maybe even 600. Okay, so there's a lot more room to the upside. No way I'd be looking to short it right here. No way I'd be looking to short it because what you have to realize now is that any downfall that you see is going to be followed with a lot of people thinking this is the top, is going to end up going back down, yada, yada, yada. Okay? It may be bearish. You know. But one thing that you have to make sure you're paying attention to this week in particular, which is very, very important, is that CPI is before market open on Tuesday. So you have consumer price, yada, yada, yada. You know, that's something you need to be paying attention to. It makes the market go up, makes the market go down a lot. Or up a lot. And then next week, Wednesday, which we'll talk about on next Sunday live stream, is the FOC interest rate decision and, you know, Powell talk. And we haven't had one of those in quite some time, like I think 2 months, since like January. We didn't have one at all in February. Okay? So those are two things that are going to end up being very important. Or do we have in February? I'm not sure. But those two things is going to end up being very important. If you want my opinion on it, I know they don't even matter. We're going to end up going higher regardless if we're not already at 560, 600 plus, okay? They don't matter. I've been saying that every single FOMC meeting. You guys hear me say that every single time. Like, it don't matter. It's not going to put it. Maybe it'll push it down for, like, you know, a couple weeks or something. I don't know what it's going to do. But in terms of it, you know, making the market not do what it does and get to 580, nah, it's probably not going to do that. But also, you know, this may be a very bullish, or, you know, this may trigger a market reversal. You know, we may run up into the FOMC meeting and then start crashing below, you know, getting a pullback, you know, not actually crashing, you know, but getting a pullback, because what I think is going to be announced is the interest rate cut decision. Like, we're finally going to get news on our first cut. And what's going to happen is we're probably going to get some huge explosion, and then we'll get our retracement that a lot of people have been waiting for, because think about it psychologically. A lot of people now think the market is even more bullish after a rate hike. I mean, after a rate cut, right? So you're going to get that huge spike because, you know, you're getting a rate cut. But ultimately, rate cuts aren't that bullish, okay? So a lot of people are gonna, oh shoot, we're getting a rate cut. Now is the time to invest, and then you're gonna get that little consolidation, pullback, etc. But make no mistake, it will go higher for that. With Biden wanting to increase stock tax to 4%, would that be bearish for market? Yeah, probably. Like I said, like the market is gonna get very, very bearish, like Q3, Q4. And I'm doing Q&A right now, so if you have a question, I'm happy with answering it. I'm done looking at stocks, but the market is gonna get very, very bearish, like Q3, Q4. Make no mistake, like the market's not always gonna be bullish, but with the 4% buyback program that he's gonna announce, I think next year. Right now, I think a lot of people are gonna buy back right now because the same rules that apply right now are the same rules. They haven't went into effect yet, so you could see something over now. What about crypto? Crypto is not done. I actually want to look at the total market cap. Yeah, like this is how, like I'm telling you right now, you lock in. If you need a group to lock in with, like a group that's looking at crypto, we told you getting a Filecoin, February 29th, and it was at $8, and now it's at it went to like 12, and I think it's gonna get to 100 plus. But we got crypto in there, obviously, stocks, obviously, but the total crypto market cap hasn't even like. What usually happens is you get some sort of parabola, okay, and it happens swiftly, it happens quickly. Maybe it starts topping out in August or June or July, but it still, to me, it still has a lot of room to the upside. Yeah, that's my cue to get off. Nvidia crashing, sell in May and go away. Nvidia calls right now with expiration date a month away. They're like, damn. Yeah, he cooking. He like, gang, don't give him that much game. Don't give him that much game, Pops. Don't do that to him. ARM, Nvidia. But yeah, total market cap on crypto, I mean, if you look at it, it's going to end up getting to the top of the trend line, which it always has. And what usually happens is you get a huge parabola. We're only in the beginning stage of this huge parabola. The parabola will probably take you to like 4.3 trillion. I mean, we can go to coin market cap. A lot of people don't know I'm on game with crypto. Like, I actually, when in 2022, man, I made a bag off a bunch of stuff. Baby Dogecoin, I was going stupid. But yeah, we're only at 2.62 trillion on, the market cap, and I projected to get to over 4 trillion. We tanking if Trump wins. We're gonna tank regardless. Like Q3, Q4 is where stuff is about to get sticky. Like we're gonna end up getting in some sort of recession, etc. But right now, the music is on. The music is blasting. The party is vibrant. The party is vibrant. You don't want to try to top time right now in the euphoric. Hold on, let me look at you don't want to try to top time right now. Like trying to top time right now is you're early. You're really early. Like a lot of people have been, like you've seen with so many people, they've been early. All right. We're not in that phase yet, so you need to just buckle up. You need to relax. I'm trying to find a good chart. Like these charts suck. Here we go. So we're probably in like belief. Like we're not at thrill, euphoria. We're at belief. A lot of people like, dang, like yeah, this is a real market. Time to get fully invested. Like I just told you guys, I don't have enough money in the market. I literally just gave you guys a clue without even knowing I gave you a clue. I literally said I don't got enough money in the market, and I'm not at the point where I want to buy on margin. Like that's just crazy. But yeah, like I don't feel like I'm fully invested. I want to get I am fully invested, etc. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Thank you guys all for tuning in. We had a very great crowd today. If you have any more questions, just hop in the Discord. The link is in the bio. Follow the Twitter, especially because we'll be posting the best plays on there, and then YouTube will be posting the recap on there if you missed any of the stream. So Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Let's make some money this week, man. You got CPI Tuesday. Pay attention. And you got some great plays out there that we looked at. So, anyways, talk to you guys later. I'm out. Peace.